don't call on me yet.
Good evening and welcome to the beautiful Martinsville Speedway. It's BFP night in North America, the Missile Throwdown, the 75-lap main event for the BFP iLate Model Stock Car Tour. My name is Jesse Thompson, live here from the booth. Great to have everybody tuned in here. We are going to get going here in just a few moments' time. A full field of race cars ready to do battle. Here at the famed Martinsville Speedway, the Paperclip. We've got Davey Rando joining me in the booth. He'll be with me in just a moment or two. But if you're tuned in here tonight, glad to have you here with us. Tonight's event is, of course, presented by the fine folks at Mahoning Valley Speedway. They've got the Tom Waynick Jr. Memorial 150 for the Tour Type Modifieds coming up on May 21st. 7,000 American dollars to win and $1,500 just to start the race. It's going to be a fantastic show. So if you're in the Pennsylvania area, the upstate New York area, make sure to make your way over there on May 21st. Going to be a fantastic show, and we're glad to have everybody here tuned in. Of course, the Missile Throwdown here at Martinsville Speedway, ready to go in a few moments' time with qualifying heat races. Or, well, then you probably should have been gone at that point. You know how it works around here. So, Davey, great to have you here with us. How are things going in Davey's world before we get started here?
We are very busy. I'm looking forward to a day off. The ACT car is coming along pretty well. Gearing up for sports car to go back to Circuit of the Americas, and got some things here and there in between. Free time is sparse, but race cars are good.
Yeah, just about to pick up with racing here in my part of the woods up here. But tonight, we've got racing here at the Martinsville Speedway. A great crowd on hand, ready to start qualifying through heat races for the Missile Throwdown. 75 laps will be the feature distance. We will have 3 heat races. I believe they'll be probably, I'll check with Tom, maybe probably 10 or 12 laps or so.
It looks like for this first heat, we have Jason Rickers starting on pole, Jake Grout to his outside, Tyler King in P3, Matthew Perry P4, Roger Saucier P5, Justin Gallo in 6th position, Ricky Thompson Jr. in 7th, Sean Bordeaux in 8th, Josh Hodgson 9th, rounding out the top 10 with Matthew Benoit.
A lot of the regulars that we've seen so far this season rejoining us once again. Drivers like Jake Grout, like Matthew Benoit, like Rick Thompson, Roger Saucier. Roger had a great run last week in the last chance race. We'll see if he can have a little bit better luck here this weekend. Off turn number 4, green flag in the air.
Looks like we have a clean start as they make their way into turn 3 to complete lap number 1. Leaders are still side by side.
Yeah, looks like we got a little trouble further back. The 73 car has gone around. He's going to grab gear and keep going, but he will lose a lot of time here at the Paperclip. Racing continues on. Heat race number 1. Drivers trying to pace themselves a little bit, but and just as I say that, we have a little bit of carnage in behind Davey.
Yeah, we got 3 cars coming together there, and they're still going at it. Matthew Benoit battling hard to try and keep his 12th position. He lost a couple spots there, so we'll see if he can come back.
The 60 car here looking to have a bit of a rough run so far in this heat race. A lot of side damage, a lot of rear end damage to that race car. I'm sure he'll be looking to have a better run a little bit later on in the program, probably having to come through one of the last chance races.
I think so, as only the top 6 are going to make it into the feature. We were just running 2 heats tonight. A lot of guys are banged up from Thunder Road this past weekend, so cars are still in the shop. Couldn't make the trek down here to Virginia and Martinsville.
So we got a good battle for third on back. Drivers playing it a little bit safe, holding on to those all-important transfer positions. 73 car going to go around one more time. He'll do the quick way to pit road, so tough break for the 73.
Looks like the 57's around too. Michael Curtis, he's stopped on the track. Leaders have to go high. They barely make it. Second position, and Jake Grout has a really nice save coming up out of the corner.
Good save once again. Late model stocks in Martinsville. It doesn't get any better than that. Maybe throw a couple of old hot dogs in there as well. But we love coming here to Martinsville with the late model stock car. Our first run here this season, and it's already proven to be a little bit exciting. The 17 car going to get a little bit of a tap from Rick Thompson. I believe the 17 is Jack Eli, as he has been this season. So Eli having a tough run of it. A modified competitor himself. Saucier and Thompson going to go at it. Eli, I think, looks like maybe glitching out there for a second, maybe making his way to pit road. So one of the drivers finding some bad luck in heat race number 1.
And it looks like the battle right now is going to be for the 6th position, with Roger Saucier hanging on to that final transfer spot, with Rick Thompson Jr. right on his coattails going into turn 4, and we have just 2 laps to go coming to the stripe.
2 laps left to go in heat race number 1. The Throat Missile Throwdown already qualifying 10 drivers through time trials. The rest of the field going through heat races. White flag in the air this time. 1 lap to go for the late model stock competitors. The BFP iLate model stock car tour. They'll head down the backstretch one final time. Davey, bring us home. Checkers in the air.
And that'll be it. Rick Thompson Jr. was able to hang on to that final transfer spot as we go into turn 3. We'll see if there's a move. And checkers are out, and we have Jason Rickard taking home the win in Heat 1, Jake Grout P2, Tyler King P3, Matthew Perry P4, Justin Gallo P5, and Thompson Jr. able to carry on with that last transfer spot.
So Rick Thompson sneaking his way back into the field, an Oxford Plains regular. The Thompsons getting it done, you know, doing us Thompsons a little bit proud. No relation here, but glad to see that. And 6 more drivers going to lock themselves in just a few moments' time. This is qualifying for the Throat Missile Throwdown here at Martinsville Speedway, beautiful Virginia countryside. And Davey, we've already seen a little bit of impatience, as it were, with heat race number 1.
Yeah, it's just another track, just like last week. It's going to be real hard to pass. I mean, you might have to use that bumper a little bit, getting into the corner to get up underneath someone. And the guys that are going to hold on tonight for me, for my prediction, is who can hold on the outside on restarts, and that's going to be, I think, how your race is going to go.
Well, David, let's bring us through your field quickly as they make their way down the backstretch.
Starting on pole, we have, sorry, I'm on the wrong heat. Here we have Dylan Thomas to his outside, Tyler Jordan, Mason Dunn starting P3, Brian Conover P4, Joe Campbell P5, and then that last transfer spot in 6, Brandon Ruszczyk.
Glad to see Ruzick in the Jack Daniels colors. Yeah, right now in that all-important 6th position, that is going to be the position to watch out for. But just in behind him is a driver that probably wants to make his way back into the big show.
That none other is the 69 car of Charlie Sanborn III, who had a real strong heat race last week. So we'll see if he can capitalize on that. And we have problems on the bottom. Lots of contact. Charlie Sanborn to the outside going into 1. He gains a whole bunch of spots going into the corner of P2, and there's a big wreck behind him in the front stretch.
Lots of cars getting turned. A little bit of calamity there. Mason Dunn, Brian Conover, Joe Campbell, couple of drivers. Conover. Oh goodness. We've got cars on top of one another.
Still collisions there on the backstretch, as those cars haven't even completed a lap. As the leaders are coming by, it might be a night to park it.
Oh goodness. Okay, well, 2 laps in, and the second heat race has already been a bit of a train wreck. So we'll see what happens here over the course of the rest of this heat race. But remember, those 6 positions up front are very, very important. But ending up on your lid is probably not the way you want to qualify into the show. So these guys are going to have to exercise some patience here tonight.
No, definitely not. And in 6th position was Joe Campbell. He had entered pit road, so we have Mason Dunn coming in to take that last transfer spot.
Working through a little bit of things behind the scenes here. BFP Night in America. Tom the Modified Guy with the old 1s and 2s making it happen for us. Very much appreciate that. Check out Fence Line Films on YouTube, and we really appreciate his support of racing here on Tuesday nights, and especially racing out there in the real world. Speaking of racing, we've got some side-by-side action. It's getting intense here as we get past the halfway point. A little bit love tap there between the 25 and I believe might be an 84 car.
As there's contact, and all 3 of them get taken out going into turn 1. And that's going to be Tyler Lerman that capitalizes on those 3 that get spun into the inside. And just like that initial green flag, you get pure stock drivers that just, they're new to the late model stock car power, spin the tires, and everyone checks up behind them. So
not what we wanted to see here, but one thing we do like seeing, how about that 89 car started 8th in this heat race? I'll say that again. Started 8th in the heat race and is now up front. Yeah, this has been a wild and woolly heat race. Charlie Sanborn's still in a qualifying position despite being, jacked up and turned sideways and turned up ways and whatever ways he didn't want to be. He's gonna probably lock his way into the show. He'll have a lot of work to do with that car though.
Yeah, and we love seeing that 69 car running up front in BFP Night in America for the late model stock car. Throat Missile, Throwdown, 75 here in Martinsville.
The Paperclip, a storied history with late model race cars. Some of the best have made their way to victory lane, getting the old Martinsville clock. I don't know if it's a Martinsville clock here tonight. Maybe one of those, one of those hot dog rollers that might have been bronzed. I think that might be the trophy. I'm going to assume so. We go all out here.
I'd say it's the Martinsville clock. Just remove the L.
Yeah. You know what? You let your imagination fill in the rest. But we're on to the final lap of this heat race. Down the backstretch one final time. It's the 89 car who has just about outlasted everything this race can throw at him. Checkered flag in the air off turn number 4, and heat race number 2 going to come to a close. The 89 will pick up the heat win.
And he had the stamina to win that heat race, so we'll see what can happen here in the feature. Up next, we have the consolation, 18 lap. Top spot makes it in.
Want to send a special shout out as well to Mike Nedishin making the big show. Mike came with us last week at the Rex on the Beach 100. Unfortunately, had an early exit from his qualifying efforts and did not make the show, but glad to see the super modified driver logging some laps here at the Martinsville Speedway. We got Tony Palladino checking in on Facebook. He says this heat, it's like a line brawl to start a hockey game. You know, Tony, you're probably right on that one. It was wild and woolly, as we've mentioned. And just like that, we're already on to our consolation race. Probably going to be about 20 cars, 22 cars or so in this one. We'll find out in just a few moments. As the cars begin to the consolation race rolls out onto the racetrack, a full field of late model stock competitors. And we are taking 8 from this race. Of course, we had one less heat race this week with a little bit of a slower or lower car count rather. So we're taking 8 from these qualifying positions. The late model stocks ready to do battle one more time. This is, as the name suggests, the last chance qualifier. Well, we got a moment here. We've got the man himself. He's been up ways, sideways, whatever ways he didn't want to be. Charlie Sanborn locking his way into the big show once again.
Hey, that's 2 weeks in a row, pals. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you guys for showing out here tonight. A little bit of a lower car count than normal, so we split it up into 2 heat races here. Going to take 8 from the Consi now, and hopefully that's a little bit less action-packed than what I just had, because I think I was on some exposure.
Have you seen one of our late model last chance races? I don't know if there could be any less action, as it were.
I think I've been in every one except for the last 2, but take it away, pal.
Green flag in the air. Yeah, calamity on the front stretch in the top. We got another car going around. So the top 7 now have broken away from the rest of the field.
We were still wrecking in turn 2 with the 57 car, Michael Curtis, and the 73.
Oh goodness, not getting quite the view of that I thought I would, but you know, the last chance races, I don't know, maybe these guys still think it's for the top 2 spots. Maybe they don't realize that it's for 8 spots in this race, but we'll see what happens here as we have the aerial view over the beautiful Martinsville Speedway.
Well, there are troubles here tonight with race control. Someone decided to take the night off. That'd be your league admin, Scott Dinnan. He's not able to make the show, so we're having to do some extra work here up in the booth to keep these guys in check, and also leave this race with a couple surprises here and there, you know. And if 8 of them think that it's only the top spot, top 8 are going to race pretty hard, and we're going to give you viewers at home something good to watch.
I heard Scott went Amish. Is that true? Maybe that's not true. Maybe I'm just making things up. I don't know.
That is correct. His beard finally hit the right length, and he changed his name right to Jebediah.
Yeah, you know what? You know, sometimes that's what you got to do. Sometimes iRacing just isn't the way, and you know, wheels and churning butter, that's the way.
He's been practicing at that Amish life there with his crate late model. Dirt late model, sorry.
Apologies to every person in like 4 states in the U.S., but you know, we have fun here on Tuesday nights. We got a good battle on the racetrack. Roger Saucier making his way up through the field. He's bringing Mason Dunn with him. Mason with the Josh Berry Tire Pros paint scheme this week. And Mason trying to do the South proud and put his car into the big show for the Missile Throwdown. Could he be a dark horse here tonight?
We'll see. As Brian Conover, he's the one having a lot of fun tonight. He's starting to put a gap there on Roger Saucier with Mason Dunn right in tow of 3rd.
Conover found himself backwards in his heat race, and by luck of the draw ends up up front in this field. So he's starting to run away with this one. We have a 18-lap heat race. I don't know what monkey with what typewriter figured out that lap count, but that's what we're doing here tonight. Don't worry, folks, I'm not going to hold back. So we're at the halfway point of this last chance race, and I don't want to jinx it. I really don't want to jinx it, but...
Sounds like you're going to.
This has been clean. I've used that C word. It's been clean, as it were. So, okay, getting moved up the racetrack. Maybe that's just the way things are here. So laps continue to click down. 8 laps left to go in this consolation race. Remember, it's a 75-lap main event. The Throat Missile Throwdown, one of the premier short track racing events in North America. The Snowball Derby, the Winchester 400, and the Throat Missile Throwdown. And of course the Oxford 250, as it were. You know, those four are the Triple Crown, as it were. So, Davey, we got a good battle here for the last transfer spot.
We sure do. Joe Campbell trying to hang on to 8th with Tyler Connolly right on his heels. As they get together, and it's hard to keep track of what's going on because these guys are racing really, really hard.
I think that's what you call an automotive prostate exam. I don't know. I don't know. That's what it looked like to me, but you do what you got to do when you make one of the premier short track races in the country, or you attempt to make the show anyway. So 5 laps left to go. Brian Conover is not worrying about any of that. He's setting sail up front. He's only got about a half a second lead over Roger Saucier. This could get a little spicy, a little dicey, maybe a little bit of both as we nail down towards the end of this last chance race. The Red Bull colors getting a little bigger in the mirror of Brian Conover, but how about Mason Dunn in behind a 3-horse race, and it's not even the Kentucky Derby.
And Mason Dunn is just really hoping that Saucier makes a move, and he might be able to capitalize on both of them to take on that top spot in the consolation. As Saucier, he's right there with just passing 2 to go. They'll be coming to the white flag here.
Down through 3 and 4, coming to the white flag this time. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go for Brian Conover in the 97. He's got a car length lead over Roger Saucier, drives it in deep into turn number 1. Down the backstretch, one final time, going to work their way towards a little bit of lap traffic. Don't know if it's going to play a factor. Checkered flag in the air. Brian Conover going to win the last chance qualifier. Roger Saucier, Mason Dunn, Jordan, your top 4. Tyler Jordan, yes, and it looks like Griffin rounding out the top 5.
Well, boys, I'm gonna go head back on into the car here, get strapped in, see if we can't make a fool of ourselves for the first 69 laps, and then maybe have something left for him for the last 6. So, again, thank you for doing what you're doing, and let's see if I can't go fuck this up.
Well, that's Charlie Sanborn, driver of the 69. Could he be the victor here tonight? He's going to have a lot of competition. Dave, you're shaking your head. You're not sure if that's going to be the case, but if it is, we're all going to celebrate, right?
Oh, absolutely. And just watching some of the post-race celebrations that are going on the front stretch, these guys are having a lot of fun, and they are ready to throw it down tonight here in Martinsville for 75 laps of the BFP Night in America iLate model stock Throat Missile Throwdown.
Full house indeed. Of course, the fine people in Virginia, nothing better to do on a Tuesday night, so they come out to the virtual Martinsville Speedway. It's the Throat Missile Throwdown, ready to roll out onto the Speedway in just a few moments' time. Drivers teleporting their way to the grid like the space aliens that they are, but 75 laps will be the distance, as you've seen through the qualifying races, through the heat races, last chance. This is going to get hairy. This is going to be a busy week if you're a bodybuilder.
And
Driver's ready to roll off here in just a few moments' time. We'll give the command. And 3, 2, 1, driver, start your engines.
here we go, as there's a little bit of confusion up here in the booth because I think I had 2 jobs tonight and my race heat fell out. So whether or not I'm, supposed to be giving out penalties, we'll just kind of see here how it goes.
This time off turn number 4, ladies and gentlemen, wave to your favorite drivers from home, wherever you're tuned in. Send them off. Wave to your phones, your tablets, your Nintendo 64s, whatever you're watching on. It's BFP night in North America. 30 cars strong here for the Throat Missile Throwdown. 75-lap main event. Ready to do battle. Drivers head down the backstretch one final time, and as we get ready to go green, Tom, the modified guy, with his pudding, he's ready to go. He's ready to enjoy himself. Off turn number 4, green flag in the air.
Looks like we have a clean restart as we go in here in turn 1, mostly side by side, 3 wide up in the back. They starting to get straightened out a little bit, and we have a wreck. Charlie Sanborn hard into the inside wall going into turn 3. Unfortunately, that looked like a lot of damage.
Oh, we got cars stacking up hard off turn number 4. It is a parking lot on lap number 1. Caution flag going to come out. Drivers continue to collect themselves. Oh, looks like a bit of a replay there. So, Roger Sauce here. Charlie Sanborn showing up 6 to 9 business days after the wreck, deciding he wants to be a part of it. Caution flag coming out. We'll see here what started the Sanborn wreck. Tom, the modified guy, providing the replay courtesy of Fence Line Films. And Jake Grout just curse smuckling Charlie Sanborn and kind of ruining his night on the opening lap. Not the way we want to do business here at the virtual Martinsville Speedway.
Backing into the fence like that is not how you want to start the season, but luckily you can come in, get that car fixed up, and I'm sure we'll see Charlie start to pick his way towards the front.
I think for Charlie, though, he's not going to be too, pun intended, tore up about it, because he made the show. At least he's in the big show. Whatever happens at this point, he's got his fast repair. Now he can start to put on a show from the back of the field, just like the rest of our drivers. Don't want to discredit anybody else, but keep an eye on that BFP Pontiac Grand Prix. I wish I knew what the love was for Pontiac, but we'll never know. But race control having a little bit of back and forth here, finalizing some of the procedures here. We do run a tight ship here in BFP Night in North America. So caution flag out on lap number 1. We are counting caution laps, so we are 5 laps now into this one. So it's Wood and Minor, your top 2. Brent Roy in position number 3. Johnson in the 44. Nelson in the 7. John Peters in the 09 car. Still looking for his first win of the season. He's had a couple of podiums this year, and tonight could be a big night. One of our heat winners, Stefano looks like, rather, in the 89 car. Jason Ricker in the 9, Thomas in the 9th position, and King rounding out your top 5. Drivers getting doubled up. ready to send them off one more time, looking for some green flag running here, all part of the Throat Missile Throwdown. 75 laps, the main event.
They're heading into that BFP restart zone as we have Tyler Wood about to get on the gas here. And we are green here at Martinsville.
Back underway one more time. Looks like a lane change for the 98 car right at the line. I know last week there was, I know last week there was a little bit of back and forth on that. So it looks like it's just before the start-finish line is the issue. Anything at it or after it is perfectly fine. So good to have that cleared up. Drivers making their way through now. A couple of side-by-side battles. John Peters with a good battle with the 89 car to his inside.
Just inside the top 20, we have a wreck. Ooh, it's going to collect a few cars, and that is going to bring out the caution.
Oh, Ryan Kuhn and Casey Beati caught up in it. They're able to escape with minimal damage, but they had to get hard on the binders to keep from writing off those late model stock race cars.
And Kuhn was trying to make his way around the outside and just had nowhere to go, and he did a good job of checking up on that second one, but unfortunately he caught some damage on the nose of that 72 machine.
Race control doing a little bit of deliberation here. Keep an eye a couple of cars behind here. Everything gets kind of jacked up, a little bit of wild. You can see Borges there in the 24. Yep, makes the hard left. And man, if you drank a beer for every time Ryan Borges nearly avoided a wreck this season, you'd be absolutely hammered. And there's no 2 cents about that one. Well, Davey, we're on board with Ryan Kuhn here through this wreck.
Yeah, and he's trying to make his way around the outside of 3, and he's got pretty good speed up there, and unfortunately when that car comes up, he just has nowhere to go and gets stuffed in the outside wall.
Yeah, heading down the backstretch here, Borges just ahead of him. Conover was on his inside. Everything gets a little stacked up. Where does he go? Where does he go? Yeah, you know what? Take a little bit of damage. Wow. You know what? Yeah, Matt Hirschman, as we call him, is really quite a wheelman in that 72 car. I think he'd be good on the Pro All-Star Series. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think you might be able to get some top 5s, maybe even a win here and there.
Maybe a little bit. Yeah, I think the 72 maybe knows what he's doing around this the BFP iLate model stock car tour. So caution out once again, obviously the second caution of the Throat Missile Throwdown, looking for a little bit of green flag running. While we've got that in our back pocket, we're going to take a minute to thank our sponsor once again, the fine folks from Mahoning Valley Speedway in Pennsylvania. They've got the Tom Waynick Jr. Memorial. It's 150 laps for tour-type modifieds, $7,000 American dollars to win that event on Saturday, May 21st. If you're in the Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey area, you're looking for some modified racing, head over to Mahoning Valley Speedway. Watch those cars and stars. They are going to put on an absolute thrill show, and it's $1,500 just to start the race. That's pretty good. And Tom, the modified guy, he says he's going to be there. He's going to enjoy the show. If you see him, be sure to thank him for all the onboard work he does with all the race cars in the area.
Yeah, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that goes into this league, and since the creation of it that Scott and Charlie had, and all those guys, I mean, we've really seen leaps and bounds with this type of broadcast. So we just want to thank guys like Tom, Charlie, Scott, and everyone that runs their show. They run a tight ship, and it's really starting out to be something good.
Well, off turn number 4 one more time. Green flag back in the air. 60 laps to go here at Martinsville Speedway. Into turn number 1, Wood with a good advantage. Minor in the 98 car holds on to second. As we've seen probably the last 4 or 5 races, Brent Roy and John Peters glued together. The teammates trying to do battle here tonight. 4 wide heading down the front stretch. 4 wide into the corner. Are they able to keep it all going? They were. Wow, what a move. And that is going to pay off. Man, just outside the top 10, that was a thrill show battle.
Yeah, some really awesome racing coming from early on, but these guys only have 75 laps to do it, and we're 16 laps into the race. Sorry, excuse me, 17. So, I mean, if we continue to get a green flag run, those laps are going to tick off, and you're going to make sure you're getting your track position early.
Track position is key. Wood continues to click off laps. He's got 3 or 4 car lengths or so over Minor in the 98. Nelson in the 7 car with a solid run here tonight. And Brent Roy in the 26, John Peters in the 09, Jason Ricker in the 9 car. A couple of NEP drivers that have made the crossover to BFP Night in America. We love seeing that. And they're looking for some luck. John Peters has been on the podium a couple times this year. Brent Roy has been within 3 corners of being on the podium and has not gotten there yet through things kind of outside of his control. Tonight, we say it every week, tonight could be the night for that 26 car.
We'll see what kind of moves he can pull here as he's closing in on Cody Nelson. He wants to take that 3rd spot away.
Nelson already has his hands full with the 98 of Minor, the Cheez-It car, holding his own in that runner-up spot, and Nelson playing the long game, playing a bit of the waiting game, and just biding his time, saving those tires, as this racetrack on late model stocks is very aggressive on tire wear.
Yeah, and if you don't take care of them early on, build up too much heat, I mean, you're just going to get driven past and freight trained, and it looks like we get a battle for the top spot. Tyler Wood under attack from Sean Minor. As Sean Minor takes the lead going into 3, he tries for a crossover.
It looks like some lapped action there. Wood holds on to the spot, so he had to be careful, though, as that car had a lot of damage. Not sure if he was maybe going to get into the side of him with those lap cars and the damage that they've got. Maybe you don't quite know what they're going to do. Maybe they're going to come off the corner a little sharper than you think. So you really got to be careful working your way around them, especially here at Martinsville.
And looks like the battle is for 5th on back as guys are starting to make their run to the front. Jason Ricker still hanging off in P6, Tyler King 7th, Matthew Perry in 8th, Tyler Jordan 9th, and the last spot of the top 10 is on the outside getting attacked from Matthew Johnson looking to the inside of Tyler Jordan.
And looking a little bit further back, we got one on the wall in the front stretch. He grabs the gear and keep going. Not quite
able to get it going.
Not quite sure who that one was. I was going to mention, a couple of drivers in the back of the field, Casey Biotti and Ryan Kuhn. I mean, they've been the ones to beat here this season. We haven't seen much of them in this race here so far. Looks like some more calamity. Somebody was up against the inside wall there. Not sure who it was from our vantage point over in turn number 2.
Yeah, a lot of action going on right now. Some two wide battles, and it looks like just a freight train on the inside for about the 10th spot.
Attrition playing a little bit of a factor here tonight, but it's not really getting in the way of the top drivers. I mean, Tyler Wood in the 22, he has got a mirror full of Cheez-Its and not probably the way he wants to have them. It's a battle for the lead as they head down into turn number 1 and 2. Wood gets a good run down the backstretch. A little bit of a draft in play here. You know, something we saw at Martinsville, something we saw especially in New Hampshire. The draft plays a big factor as these drivers work their way around the half mile.
Two-car does a nice job standing on the outside, letting those leaders go by as he continues to do so. As the top five are starting to break away. We still have Tyler Wood, P1, Sean Miner in second, with Cody Nelson right on his tail. Looks like Cody's going to be trying to get by any time now.
Cody's been getting some good runs off the corners. He'll look to the inside now. Cody Nelson in that black number 7 to the inside. Contact with Sean Miner. They're able to save it. Brent Roy and John Peters just backing out of the gas. They've decided, I don't really want to be a part of this battle. They're going to let them settle it. And Cody Nelson, a little bit roughhouse there, but he's going to go side by side, sail it into the corner. Sean Miner hoping he's going to slip up the track. Nothing doing that time. Give the runner-up spot to Cody Nelson.
We got Brent Roy just waiting back, trying to make a move. Right behind him, John Peters is a pretty good battle for third on back.
Oh, a couple of cars in the inside wall. Caution flag comes out. 34 laps in. Closing up on the halfway point of the throat missile throwdown. We'll see who was involved in that one. The 43 and the 89. So we'll have a look here. Replays tonight presented by the fine folks at Fence Line Films.
Yeah, it looks like the 43 of Gallo, he wanted to make that move, and I can't see what number that is.
43 and the 89. So we'll see here, and yeah, slamming the door on the 43 car. And they had it saved pretty well. And comes off the corner. Doesn't really try to keep off one another.
Yeah, just a battle of space here, and they both ran out of room and had it saved, like you said, and then just weren't able to keep it straight.
I think they had it saved initially. Good save there for Rick Thompson, the 70 car, the Oxford regular, keeping his nose out of it. And yeah, these drivers are paying each other back. I think race control is going to have some words for those two competitors. So, Davey, this is basically the halfway point of the throat missile throwdown. We've had a couple of cautions so far. Drivers now going to head down pit road if they want and take some tires. Some other drivers deciding not to. We saw last week John Peters was able to put up a good challenge with old tires on his race car at the Rex on the Beach 100. Could tonight be the night he parks it in victory lane?
It may as well could be, and that tire choice is going to be, I think, what makes or break this race. And if they can stay green, I think it's going to be worth taking the tires. But if there's a few more cautions, it might just give these guys enough of an advantage to keep their track position and hang on for the win.
I'm gonna get a little technical here for a second while I got you here. Of course, you work in the world of GT3 racing. You work with the fine folks at DXDT Racing. How much is planning out your tire change important in a race like that? You guys race for an hour and a half each day. You race 2 days in a row. How important is that to nail that tire change? I suppose you do have a mandatory window of when you need to do it. No, you're right. We do have that mandatory window, but it really it's really important on when we come in, if we're going to be one of the first in the pit cycle, or we're going to try and chance it and
be the last, and that really depends on, in at least in Pro-Am competition, you want to keep that pro in there as long as you can. So if you have time to do one more lap and come in sooner to the pit close, it's gonna be pretty important.
Yeah, and it all depends on where you're at, where you're running on the race, and how the race is shaping out. Just like we've seen here, we've seen some attrition here tonight. So tire strategy going to play a little bit of a factor. Keep an eye on anybody in the first 5 rows of this one. Off turn number 4, one more time. Green flag in the air. We are racing.
John Peters gets a good run on the outside, and he's able to take that top spot away.
Running in memory of Grand National Greg, his late father, trying to do him proud here tonight. John Peters looking for a Martinsville prize, as it were. A couple of cars outside the top 10 playing a little bit rough with one another. Ryan Borges trying to move up a couple of spots.
No, we've seen a pretty clean restart, and as we take a look, we have a multi-car spin in turn 3. That I'm hearing that's Casey Beatty. He got turned around.
Oh, Cody Nelson here in the 7. He was probably hoping most of this race. Oh boy. Nelson in under Wood, jams on the brakes. Man, that rear end lifts up a lot.
Yeah, and it just looks like there was a checkup, and Casey Beatty couldn't get on the binders quick enough. Runs in the back of him, and that causes the whole field to check up behind him. Could have been worse. It definitely could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. We've seen some pandemonium here tonight, but we haven't seen anybody get absolutely destroyed. I guess outside of Charlie Sanborn on the first lap, we haven't seen anybody really get just throttled. Maybe Cody Nelson, we'd call that a bit of a throttling, but Rick Thompson slides to a stop. He probably thought he was through that. I think we're going to call that one a bit of a racing incident, a racing deal, as it were. So coming up on 30 laps left to go. Now it's go time. Now attrition has played its role, and I think we're going to see drivers kind of have what they have here tonight.
And it looks like the top spots really haven't changed. They've been able to just kind of cycle through that top 5. John Peters hanging on to the lead with Minor right on his tail. So we'll see if Peters can get a good restart here when they decide to double him up.
So we see John Peters, we see Sean Minor, King in the 3rd spot, Ryan Kuhn in the 4th spot. He's been in a couple of scrapes here tonight. Hasn't been to the front probably as quick as he wants, but you really don't count out Ryan Kuhn in these races, as we've learned this season. 4 wins in BFP iLate Model Stock Car Tour competition. But Jason Ricker and Brian Conover, that's a duo that I'd keep my eye on. One of those two, I think, is going to end up on the podium of this one.
Well, I think you're right about that, but we'll see as they come out of turn 4 to take the green flag. Some 3 wide, they go back to double file. Looks like a pretty clean restart, as there's contact in the back. We're trying to see who that is. I saw that Sundrop car turn around. There he is again, the 26. The 26 of Brent Roy, he gets turned around coming out of 2.
Brent Roy, the bad luck just, oh man.
Yeah, and looking back at that replay provided by Tom, the modified guy, coming out of 2, Brent checks up a little bit and gets run into the back of maybe a little bit of internet issues. Scott Dinner might have brought some of his problems with him from his internet outage over there in Cheryl's Ford.
The wheel fell off the wagon, as it were. Yeah, a couple of incidents here. Rick Thompson getting into, I believe that was the 6 car, Tyler Jordan. Cody Nelson, the 43, has been involved in a few scrapes tonight. Charlie Sanborn's been in a couple of scrapes. And again, as we say every week, calling it like it is. Calling it as we see it on the racetrack. So if you want to message me afterwards, you don't need to. You know. So caution flag back out. 28 laps left to go. The throat missile throwdown. Davey, in 1 week's time, we're heading to the beautiful Midwest. We're heading to the Milwaukee Mile. It's the Cheese Curd Classic. And have you been to the Milwaukee Mile? Have you been to that area?
No, I've flown in and out of Milwaukee a few times, and I just haven't had the time to make it over to the mile. But that's a track that I would love to see. I love running here on the service, and it's definitely one of my favorites. I mean, growing up with Loudon being my home track, I mean, there's a lot of similarities. So it's definitely a lot of fun. I'd love to just go and check it out. Go see the history.
You've been to Road America a few times, of course, in Elkhart Lake. You know, the folks in Milwaukee, the folks in Elkhart Lake, the folks in Wisconsin, really, they love their racing. And if you want to tune into probably one of the best shows, one of the most anticipated shows of the year, the Cheese Curd Classic is going to be that show next Tuesday night, right here on the Black Flag Podcast Facebook page. One of the you know, we talk about premier events. I think that's going to be one of the real premier events of this season. So be tuned in, be part of the service, be on the grid, whatever you got to do to be a part of the Cheese Curd Classic. That is what you're going to want to do next Tuesday night.
Oh, absolutely. And next Tuesday will be my last time around for quite a bit. I have a pretty busy schedule coming up. So whether I'm in the booth or behind the wheel, I mean, it's kind of up to my computer at this point.
Absolutely. And you know, the folks can tune in and check out your racing adventures, of course, with GT World Challenge. The next race is at Circuit of the Americas in a week's time or so. So you can find them on their YouTube channel. If you want to tune in, be sure to cheer on DXDT Racing and support what those folks are doing there in Austin, Texas.
Well, thank you for that, Jesse, and hopefully we continue to have some good luck there. I mean, I've had some long, late nights there in Austin, but it's still one of my favorite places to go. As we go green, Tyler King makes a move to the inside, moves back up on the top.
They pull out a John O'Sheaism from one of my good announcer friends up here. A shot out of a hot dog, or shot out like a hot dog out of a bun, whatever he says, and oh, goodness. Oh, calamity. There's the big one. We got cars on top of other cars. Caution flag back out one more time. The field dwindles ever more. Let's find out here. This might be payback. Nope. You know what? I miscall that. That was a different car. But let's see here. Yeah, Conover jacks things up a little bit. I apologize to Rick Thompson. I might have called it a little prematurely. So 37 here. Yeah,
Looks
just
like 37 just moves up the track and gets a shot from behind from the 22, but we got the 70 rolling into the back of him, so just no checking up when there needs to be a little bit, just to be a little bit more cautious there on the green flags.
And the thing about that is Brian Conover, after all that, was able to keep going. He was able to save it a couple of times and really avoided the rest of the wreck. So good on the 97. He does make his way to pit road, maybe to get some work done, maybe to get the tire change that he is allotted in this race. Like I was mentioning on that restart, though, John Peters just shot out of a cannon, wasting no time, and really putting some distance between himself and the 14 car. So 20 laps left to go. One of Send out one final shout out to the fine folks at Mahoning Valley Speedway. They've got a big event coming up here in a week or so. Saturday, believe it's, well, May 21st. I know that for sure. May 21st, they've got the Tom Waynick Jr. Memorial. It's 150 laps for the Tour Type Modified, $7,000 to win, $1,500 to start. If you're in the area of Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Maine, California, wherever, you want to make your way to Mahoning Valley Speedway and check out some Tour Type Modified racing. That is going to be in about a week's time. Going to be a very, very exciting show to be a part of. Tom, the modified guy, he says he's going to be there. He's going to have the GoPros. He's probably going to have an Italian ice while he's checking out the race cars. He's going to enjoy himself. So you're going to want to be like Tom and enjoy yourself in the Pennsylvania countryside.
What an awesome event. $1,500 to start that race.
Do you think they'd let me put the work car in? Do you think my job would let me do that? It's a 4-cylinder Nissan. Maybe that wouldn't work. I don't know.
I don't think so. As we have John Peters, he gets a big jump. Takes the lead by two car lengths going in turn one.
John Peters out to the lead now. Miner and Ryan Kuhn having a battle for the final transfer spot. Got to see a pretty good drive of Ryan Kuhn last season at Spud Speedway late in the year. He is no stranger to coming up through the field. Kuhn, as we've seen this season, 4 wins on the BFP iLate Model Stock Car Tour, but he's got a lot of pressure here tonight from the 98 of Sean Miner, but it's all John Peters off turn before this time. 16 laps left to go. 59 complete and 16 to go. Oh, and Ryan Kuhn going to go around. Miner going to go around. Drivers going to stuff themselves in. Drivers maybe forget where the brake pedal is. Let's see.
Yeah, it looks like 98 car just gets back into the back of Ryan Kuhn and causes that pile up.
Yeah, you can see him throttle up a little quicker than Kuhn probably anticipated. Jason Ricker, an innocent bystander in that one. Kuhn getting jacked up. 89 car involved. The 40 car coming in late to the party. You can see the rear end of the 72 car is all over the place. Rick Thompson in the 70, he's turned around one more time.
Yeah, not something you want to see this late in the race when they only have 15 to go.
The 89 car maybe done for the night. Race control not happy with the way that one transpired. The 89 showing some impatience there. He's been involved in a couple of incidents tonight. I believe he is going to make an early exit to the hot dog tent, as it were. '84 car, maybe winning driver on the racetrack running in '84. We'll find out exactly who that is. Maybe winning himself a parking spot. Matthew Vanot in the Jamie Wright colors. So tough break on those guys. They find their way to the hot dog line in the infield a little sooner than they would like. So we get doubled up one more time. My co-host Davey doing some work behind the scenes as well. Glad to have him on board one more time. So John Peters in the 09 electing to take the outside. Ryan Borges is a winner this season. The parking lot party 150 at Oxford went to Ryan Borges after a 4-lap shootout that night. The 45 of Casey Beati to the outside. we talked last week, or Ryan Kuhn, I think, mentioned last week, this could be a Casey Beati racetrack. The laps are dwindling down, green flag back in the air. Down the backstretch one more time. Coming up towards the, in this one, the throat missile throwdown. Starting to draw to a close. 3 wide battle just in behind Ryan Borges. Cody Nelson, he had to kind of clear himself with contact off the front bumper of the 3 car. Nelson drops to the inside in behind Ryan Borges. And gorgeous Borges locked himself into a battle now with Ryan, or Casey Beati rather, the 45 car. With the duct tape number paint scheme, love seeing that. He is trying to hold on to a podium spot. Up front, it's all John Peters. 8 laps left to go. Casey Beati getting sent up the racetrack a little bit, maybe overshooting his corner. Cody Nelson hard into the wall. Caution flag comes out. That was a wild hit. Let's find out here. Was there an atrocity committed? A little bit of a hip check there. I know it's tight coming off the corner, but you know.
It's tight, but it looked like the 45, he was keeping a good track out coming out of the 2, and the 7 car just couldn't keep it pinched.
Ooh. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you can see the wheel flick. You can see a little bit of the hip check there. The hands don't lie. And we like a Casey Beati around here, but, you know, that was a hip check. Looks like somebody getting a wave around. I'm not quite sure who that one was. 98. So Casey Beati gonna find himself with an EOL. Late in the going, Davey, I don't know if you've been keeping up on current events, to quote Alien, but we've only got 5 laps left to go at the moment.
Yeah, 5 laps to go, and we have John Peters still holding on strong to that top spot, and he keeps it up and gets those restarts. He might be able to get enough gap and bring it home, but don't forget, 3rd spot, we got Ryan Borges.
So we got Peters, King, Borges, Thomas, and Connolly, your top 5.
One car that's been able to kind of get back up there is the 26 car of Brent Roy. He's in 7th. Conover in 8th. Griffin 9th, and rounding out the top 10 we have Tyler Wood.
Tyler Wood has probably been thinking the last 25 laps or so, I was leading this race once upon a time. What happened? Where did it all go wrong for me? But hopefully the 22 car can pull together a solid run. We're going to have 1 to go this time. I believe Mason Dunn here is going to click the big green button and send these drivers off here in just a moment. The throat missile throwdown coming to a close. The 7 car of Cody Nelson, you see him on pit road, probably dejected at the way his night has gone rather. Had a podium run going and probably has to reclip that virtual race car. So not the way he would like to end his throat missile throwdown, but Martinsville takes no prisoners in late model stock racing. We have seen it before and we'll see it again. Off turn number 4, Peters might have spun the tires a little bit.
looks like the 14 of Tyler King, he just got on the hammer a little bit too quick, got around Peters, and we're gonna try that one again.
The 84 car at the end, the back end of that shot as well. The 84 also going around off the front of somebody. So another spin for Venat. See here, is he thinking about doing anything? Oh, he and Jake Grout getting together. Where? Okay, there's a little bit to unpack here. Okay. Campbell gets dumped. Jake Grout gets sent to the bottom of the track. And yeah, the 84 was actually an innocent bystander in that one. So. Whew. Remember what I just said about Martinsville not taking any prisoners? Well, we're seeing that here in the last few laps of this one. Already ready to go for a green-white-checkered. What better way to send off the 75-lap main event here tonight in timely fashion, as it were. We're going to send them off one more time. Green flag back in the air. A little bit more of an even start that time. John Peters a couple laps away with the sticks in the air, and he will try to do it for Grand National Greg. Peters going to head down the backstretch. And this time by, he will see the stick and the fabric. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go for John Peters. What is King going to do in the 14 car? What does Ryan Borges have behind the wheel of car number 24? Down the backstretch one final time. He has been close this season. Twice the bride's way, never the bride. Checkered flag in the air. The throat missile throwdown goes to John Peters. What a run to the finish. Getting a little bit of a celebratory tap from King there. Ryan Borges going to come home third. Thomas fourth. Tyler Connolly in the 5th position. A great top 5 run. Wow, what a show. And I know this driver's going to be excited. He's got Libby's on the hood. He's got G&G's gift on the side of that race car. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for John Peters. John Peters going to celebrate with a Polish victory lap, as it were. And the famous Alan Kowicki works his way to the top side of the racetrack, making sure each and every person in the beautiful state of Virginia, and there we go, gets into the 43 car. A couple of cars celebrating. And the 09 of John Peters going to work his way to victory lane. Your winner of the Throat Missile Throwdown 75 here at Martinsville. We'll see if we can get John Peters up here in the booth. Davey, what a show we saw here tonight. Attrition really played a factor.
It did, and just the way the cautions fell, Peters was able to keep his position. Coming from 9th on the grid, he was able to get up there early on and just capitalize.
Well, we've got the man himself joining us here in victory lane. John Peters, you've been twice the bridesmaid this season and never the bride. Tonight, it is your wedding night. Checkered flag for you here at Martinsville. How did that one feel?
It's happening. It feels good. I was glad finally got a race to work out for me. I feel like I've struggled with strategy, trying to do something different than the leaders, and it hasn't worked out for me. But tonight it finally did. So I felt that first run there, we went about 35 laps, and I felt like I saved enough tire to try to stretch the fuel and stay out for the whole race. I did not expect the whole field to come down pit road again. Same thing as last week, but I think with all the cautions mixed in there, it kind of worked out, and the group got shuffled, so I was able to keep it out front and click off some good laps and bring it home.
Now, you've got a solid piece underneath you with this race car. You've been strong each and every race this season. How does it feel to best a 4-time winner this season in Ryan Kuhn, to outdrive him and prove you can definitely do it behind the wheel of this virtual late model stock?
Well, it's nice to get it done. I mean, it definitely helps with those guys having their handicap going to the back. I mean, that's certainly a part of the equation. I know Ryan and Casey were coming up through the field there, and I was paying attention to where they were at and trying to work my restarts to stay ahead of them, and was able to get that done. But yeah, it definitely feels good. I feel like I've been quick at a few of these races, and feel like I've just been second or third here plenty of times and haven't been able to get in front of them in one way or another. And Oxford was kind of a tough one to lose there, losing it in lap traffic. So glad that it worked out this week. We'll try to do it again next time.
Yeah, we got Tom, the modified guy here. He's looking to, add to a little bit of this. Tom, what do you got for us?
So, I have a question for you. Now that you won, how is the handicap going to affect you? Do you think you're going to be able to slice through the field just like our past winners?
I hope so. Those guys are pretty good. I did it before in a league I ran last year and did it for the last 5 races, and it just seems to depend on the track. Some tracks are better suited to be able to move and through the field and pass cars than others. So it'll depend on what those races are. I think it's going to be tough regardless. So these cars are so stuck in the racetrack and have so much grip that we're all kind of going the same speed. So we'll see how the racetracks fall, but I'm definitely going to give it a try for sure.
Well, next week is the Cheese Curd Classic at the Milwaukee Mile. If you're good on 1-mile racetracks, you should be all right.
Yeah, there we go. I think that's going to be a put it to the floor and see what happens kind of race. A bit like this was. So we'll see. That should be fun.
Well, who gets the thanks here tonight on the 09 crew?
Thanks to you guys for doing this. Thanks to the league for putting it on. Thanks to my fiance and my dogs for sitting here watching me do it. Happy birthday to my mom. I don't think she's watching the first race. She hasn't watched in probably 3 years. But happy birthday, Mom. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and appreciate you guys putting this on.
Well, that's Sean Peters, your winner of the Throat Missile Throwdown 75 here tonight. We got our third place finisher as well here. Ryan Borges. Ryan, you are the master of wreck avoidance, it seems to be, in this league. Tonight, you come home with a solid third place run.
Yeah, it was good to finish on the podium again. I mean, a couple spots short of where I want to be, obviously, but it was a challenge getting through the field in this race. I mean, you saw it with Brian and Casey. I mean, none of us really were able to work our way all the way to the front. I mean, we each got close, but there was just a lot of carnage and a lot of beating and banging, and it's definitely tougher to pass on this track compared to some of the other tracks we've been to, especially like I think John alluded to it. It's just these cars are so stuck, and a lot of us are so close on speed. Definitely was a challenge, but it was a good race. Just wish it could have came up a little bit, 2 more spots forward.
Well, you've had good success this year. You won at the Oxford Plains Speedway. Next week we head to the Milwaukee Mile. What does the 24 crew have for the Cheese Curd Classic?
I don't know if I've probably raced there before, but it's been a very long time. I guess we'll just have to see. I'm assuming it's going to be a lot like New Hampshire, where it's kind of very little off throttle time kind of track and just a lot of pack racing. So definitely going to be about not slipping up, not falling out of line, and getting freight trained. But I think we'll be okay for sure. Definitely seem to run well at every track we've been to so far. So don't see why we can't do that in Milwaukee. Should be fun.
Well, who gets the thanks tonight on the 24 crew here this evening?
Just got to thank RPM Motorsports, Preston DeMello Designs for the great iRacing scheme. He also did my go-kart scheme. He's doing a bunch of go-kart schemes and iRacing schemes, so hit him up if you're looking for any sort of car design or anything like that. Just got to also shout out you guys for putting on the show, Black Flag Podcast. Been a fun league. Excited for the last 3 weeks, and hopefully end up closing off the... Oh, sorry. I have like the iRacing chat going, but yeah, definitely excited for the last 3 races. Hopefully close out the Triple Crown.
Well, that's Ryan Borges. A third place run here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway. Just before we head out the door and head on down the train tracks, we've got the man himself, Charlie Sanborn, here. Charlie, How much is it going to cost to reclip that race car?
I think we got to throw it out, put it in the dumpster, start from nothing here. No, it was a fun night here at Martinsville, and again, what an incredible little thing that we've started from nothing here. So thank you to you, Jesse. Thank you, Davey, for doing a hell of a job there in the booth there. Tom, the modified guy, Fence Line Films, top notch as always here for BFP Sports 1. Each and every Tuesday night here throughout the last couple months here, and it's been a heck of a time. And anybody who's pissed off can direct all that anger right to Tom himself. But no, we had quite a bit of wreck avoidance. Got in some wrecks. I think I went through 3 or 4 race cars there, and I think that might be my career best BFP night in America finish with a P10. So happy with that one, and ready for bed.
How many hot dogs does that earn you?
It got to be in between 68 and 70, I would assume.
Good.
Right in the middle there somewhere. So, no, it's been a time. Again, you guys are the best. Thank you to everybody watching on Facebook. Each and every week we somehow are getting between 1,500 to 2,000 views on Facebook there, and I really appreciate it. It's been a little pet project of mine, and you guys are crushing it, and you do a hell of a job. So take us home, Jesse.
Well, on behalf of everybody here, as part of BFP Night in America, the iLate Model Stock Car Tour, we want to thank you for tuning in on Facebook. The Throat Missile Throwdown going to John Peters. A great run here tonight to finally crack victory lane. So on behalf of Davey Rando in the booth with me, Tom, the modified guy, pressing the 1s and 2s, Mason Dunn, working race control, Charlie Sanborn provides some entertainment, the drivers providing entertainment. My name is Jesse Thompson. We will be back here in 1 week's time at the Milwaukee Mile for the Cheese Curd Classic. And remember, we will see you next Tuesday.